What is good, y'all? We're at it again. I wanted to share a little insight, some cool stuff with you guys. You guys know that I dropped a video called, and a new song called House of Ashes. I dropped it like 2 weeks ago. What's been cool about it is, and again, I'm a small fry, so bear with me here. But I dropped it, and it didn't get a lot of traction. It still hasn't had a lot of traction, but it's got a significant improvement. My last video, I was like, hey, it'd be cool if some of you guys would watch the video. I'd like to get it to at least 1,000. If I can just get 1,000, I'd be happy with it. 1,000 views, but in the last like 3-4 days, it's gotten to 13,000 views, which is cool because it's more subs than I have, which I think is cool. Which means that I think people are liking it. I'm going to put a little clip in here, right here.
I'm the echo in your algorithm, truth in the glitch, cracking the system like Samson's pit. I flip double meanings like acrobats, bare lies at the beast, no party patch, no donkey badge, no elephant chin. I glide through the fire where the martyrs remain. Got a pocket of psalms and a loaded tongue, sword of spirit where my bars are sprung. Every left swipe, every right me, just puppets in a fight for a sheet. You red pill heads and you woke night queens, miss Christ while you chase your screens. I'm a nightmare wrapped in revival flame with a Nazareth blade in a ghostly name. Woe to them that call evil good. You've been hoodwinked, misunderstood.
That is House of Ashes. That is a song that I put out. It's not, obviously, it's got rap. It's not necessarily hip hop, but it's rap. I am dropping a couple of new songs in either this week or next week that are going to be fire. They're going to be fire. I'm really excited about them, so stay tuned for that. But let's get to this. Token. What am I waiting for? The official music video. I will say this. It's been a cool week. Token actually reached out to me. And I'm super stoked about it. He reached out to me. He sent me this video early so that I could get a head start to react on it. So I've been sitting on this video for a week by the time it gets released. And I'm just so grateful for that. I'm finally going to react to it because, I've got the link. And I can't send it out before he releases his video, which if you're seeing this reaction now, that means he's released his video. And I can release my reaction. But it's cool because I've never been reached out by an artist that has a little bit more clout than let's just say this. I've never been reached out by an artist I've reacted to ever. I know that I've talked to Tom like McDonald. Like we've emailed back and forth a couple of times over like claim releases, and he's been really cool about releasing claims and stuff when they happen, or before he had his little team members do that. So I've had conversations with him like very, very indirectly, but it's been cool but he never reached out to me, and I don't expect that, right? It was just cool that Token reached out to me and that he actually saw my reaction to his song with Ren, him and Ren. So that just made my day, my week. It's just cool. It's cool to, I don't know, I'm just happy about it. So if any other you artists that I react to see my reactions and you dig them, man, hit me up. Send a like. Put a comment on the video. Just something. It means a lot to small fries. With that said, he sent me this song. Now, what am I waiting for? Now, obviously, I don't know what the song's about, except when I click the link right now. It says, my grandma's name was Shirley. She passed away a few weeks before my birthday. I wrote this song the day I found out. So this is going to probably be a tearjerker. And I'm just like, oh. I'm like, Token, come on, man. First of all, I'm sorry for your loss. Like, that is so devastating. Losing anybody that you're close to or anyone that's family or friends is devastating. So I want to say I send my condolences. I don't know how long ago it was, how long it took you to write the song, all this stuff, I don't know. But regardless, if it was a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, whenever it was, I send my condolences, and I'm sorry for your loss. For any of you who are watching this video at this time who's just recently lost somebody or lost someone close, man, I send my condolences. You guys know when I did my last video, that I was talking about how I lost my dad when I was 8 months old, and he was shot and killed by a 14-year-old. A little more detail on that is he was shot. He was fighting. My dad was 24 years old. He was like 6'4", 6'5". I don't know. My mom always changes their height. The older my mom gets, the taller he gets. He was between 6'4" and 6'7". He was very, very tall, which is why all of my family members, I'm tall. My kids are tall. Everyone's tall. But he was fighting in a parking lot over a parking space with this guy in Lenox, California, and this guy's son, 14-year-old, shot him with a 22. And he didn't die from the shot. He went to the hospital, and then he died of an infection from the shot like 2 weeks later. And I don't have a lot of details on it. It's so frustrating because I try to find information on my dad and the records on it, but I don't have it. But I do know that there was some kind of like trial, but I could never find out what it is. My mom says that the child was extradited out of California somewhere else. Again, I don't have any information. If any of you guys are investigators and you know how to investigate that stuff, hit me up, man. I would love to see if you guys could find anything that would be beneficial, that would help. But I say all this like I relate to loss. I've lost both my grandparents. I've lost all of my grandparents. None of them are living. I've lost very close friends. Like, death sucks. It just sucks. And my condolences are there. But I'm just trying to prepare myself mentally for this video. Now, the last thing I'll say before we jump into this, because I know I'm having a long intro, is we are on our road to 25,000. And we're slowly climbing the charts up there. And I just want to say thank you. So if you guys like bar breakdowns, if you like metal, if you like I love reacting to music, and I love writing and creating music. And I've written 2 albums, and I've written 3 albums, and I'm working on a whole bunch of cool hip hop stuff that I'm really excited to share. So if you could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, and we'll jump into this. So Token, don't make me cry, man. But I'm already feeling it. I already feel like, okay, let's do this. Let me get in the mindset of, like, grief, because here we go. My grandmother's name was Shirley. She passed away a few weeks before my birthday. Man, that sucks. I wrote this song the day I found out. Okay, let's do it. Play.
I changed how I look.
Sorry, I have to make it line up here.
I changed how I look, how I talk, how I act. I changed even more. I'm no longer yours. Only thing that don't change about me is wishing I changed even more.
That's a bar. Oh, that's a bar. I've changed everything about me. I wish I could change all these things. The only thing I don't wish I could change is that I would change more. Like, I'm comfortable in my skin where I'm at. And then he's showing all of these family members. He's showing grandparents. He's showing fathers, sons, daughters, this stuff. Okay, let's start this over. I don't want to cry. I was prepared to break down bars. Not get emotional.
I changed how I look, how I talk, how I act. I changed even more. I'm no longer yours.
Okay.
Only thing that don't change about me is wishing I changed even more.
Okay.
What am I waiting
My
for?
grandma said I wanna visit you to get that LA view, but I might die before I ever get the chance to. I found a subject I could change to avoid the awkwardness and realizing the painful truth. But I wish I gave her honesty. I know losing memories is frustrating beyond belief, and every day there's a new body part to let a doctor see. But all that aside, how do you say that so casually?
Did she have dementia or Alzheimer's? I think watching people die slowly is heartbreaking, but it does give you a chance to prepare for it. But then, at the same time, like, how do you ever prepare for someone that you love passing? I don't know. Don't make me cry. I don't want to cry. Token, that's not cool. I mean, I say that with respect because this is your grandmother you're talking about. Let's start this over. And for those who are concerned about my cough, guys, I have extreme allergies. I carry 4 EpiPens with me. There's no getting around this cough in the spring and summer. It does die down a little bit in fall, and it's pretty much usually gone in the winter. So you got to bear with me on the cough.
I change how I look, how I talk, how I act. I change even more, I'm no longer yours. Only thing that don't change about me is wishing I change even more. What am I waiting for?
My grandma said I wanna visit you to get that LA view, but I might die before I ever get the chance to. I found a subject I could change to avoid the awkwardness and realizing the painful truth.
Yeah.
But I wish I gave her honesty. I know losing memories is frustrating beyond belief, and every day there's a new body part to let a doctor see. But all that aside, how do you say that so casually? What does death mean to you? All your friends dying, does it bring stress to you? Do you think about it? Like, will it hurt at all? When will my whole life be compressed into a phone call? Like, yeah, she's gone. I wanna make her last years be a gift from God, but it's a losing game, cause I got the news today. It's funny how no matter how ahead you are, you're too late.
Oh. Couple things, like, so obviously his grandmother knew that her time was short. Obviously Token knew that his grandmother's time was short. Her memory's going. She's talking casually about death. So he's like, he makes a decision. I want to make this last year that she's going to have, because her time's short, the best year that she could have. And as he's thinking this, he gets the phone call, or as he's processing this in the season, he gets this phone call that she's passed. And the lines, like, you know, she wanted to go to and see his house in LA and the stuff that he's doing and really see how well he's doing. But she knows that she's going to die and not be able to, and being able to talk about that so casually. Man, that's a hard thing, because I know it's uncomfortable when people talk about death. I talk to my husband about death all the time, and I remember he used to be so uncomfortable with conversation. And I'm like, you know, it's not that I'm obsessed with death. It's just that it's inevitable. Like, 1 out of 1 people die. Like, everybody dies. And, you know, I always want to make sure that my kids are taken care of, my husband's taken care of, that that all of our finances are in order, so that I can leave them better off, you know, and not have to have the struggle of debt or paying for my funeral, or, you know, I want to leave something for them. And it's such a hard conversation. It's so awkward. And on one hand, it's awkward for them, but it's necessary to talk about because it's inevitable. And it sounds like that's what he was going through. And I hate death. I don't want to cry.
The game, cause I got the news today. It's funny how no matter how ahead.
This video is like so dark and sad, but the content is so dark and sad, but the video is like there's happy spots. They're dancing and they're showing the highlights of a good relationship, and
pressed it to a phone call.
But obviously I want to make her, and obviously they're showing pictures of loved ones that have passed, which matches with the line that he's singing. Token, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Friends dying, does it bring stress to you? Do you think about it? Like, will it hurt at all? When will my whole life be compressed into a phone call?
Right.
Like, yeah, she's gone. I want to make her last years be a gift from God, but
right.
It's a losing game, cause I got the news today. It's funny how no matter how ahead you are, you're too late.
I change how I look, how I talk, how I act. I change even more, I'm no longer yours. Only thing that don't change about me is wishing I change even more.
I love that the kids are mouthing the lines, and it's a sad line on one hand, but I love the contrast here in the video. Dude!
I change change even more.
I hate death. Why isn't it playing?
Only thing that don't change about me is wishing I changed even more.
Love that
What am
guitar.
I waiting for?
I used to have reoccurring dreams about death. So ever since you brought it up, I've been sleeping less. I know what you gon' say, I'm too young to be going through it. But can I ask you some questions as the closest one to it? You so open.
See, again, I'm too young. You say I'm too young to worry about it, but let me ask you a question since you're the closest one to it, and I don't think he's referencing age as much as referencing that they knew that she was going to pass. See, when my friend, I was in a band called Sugar Tits, and when, we were called Sugar Tits because the singer of my band, Christine, beautiful, beautiful person. She had lost both of her breasts to breast cancer, and when I was in the hospital with her when she found out she had like 30 days to live. And it's like when you know you're going to die, it's like it prepares you on one hand because you start to value the time that you have and you're intentional with it. But it still doesn't prepare you for them being gone, And I remember... I remember I had planned a trip. I'm in Oregon, and I had planned a trip with all three of my kids, and they're all between the ages of like 10 and 13 at this time, my kids. And I had paid for a trip to go to New York with them. I took them to New York. This was like our first big trip that we were ever going to go on, and we're going to go in July. And I booked the trip like 6 months prior. Because you have to with kids and plan all that. And then we get the news that she's going to die. And I'm like, I'm canceling my trip. Like, I'm going to be here. And she's like, you better not. You better not. I will be so mad if you cancel your trip to kids. She goes, I will hang on until you get back. And I was so torn, And so I took the kids. We went to New York. And we went to Portland, Maine. For 4th of July. It's like 7 years ago, 6-7 years ago. And I get the news that she passed, but the way I got the news was like, it was so heartbreaking. And it was like my best friend's husband sent a picture of her bed with flowers on it, empty. And and said she's left, she passed. And I bawled my eyes out. It was such a hard time. So, even though you're prepared for it, you never prepare for it. So, I get that. Okay. I didn't cry, so that's good.
Current dreams about death. So ever since you brought it up, I've been sleeping less. I know what you gon' say, I'm too young to be going through it. But can I ask you some questions as the closest one to it? You so open about it, so I'm curious. Do you think an afterlife will be luxurious? Do you think it'll treat you as good as Jersey did? Do you think you'll see your husband? I'm just trying to picture what it's like to be you. 3 kids, 5 grandchildren, all come from you. Maybe
I want to address that, like the afterlife. I mean, I know people have different beliefs, but I do believe in the afterlife. I do believe in God. I do believe that these bodies are is not who we are. These are just like our tents that we live in. Like we're so much deeper than the bodies that hold us. And I mean, I'm a Christian, obviously you guys know that, and so there's hope there.
I know what you gon' say, I'm too young to be going through it. But can I ask you some questions as the closest one to it? You so open about it, so I'm curious. Do you think an afterlife will be luxurious?
Yes.
Do you think it'll treat you as good as Jersey did?
Yes.
Do you think you'll see your husband? I'm just trying to picture what it's like to be you. 3 kids, 5 grandchildren, all come from you.
Legacy.
And because of us, your life has a different meaning and a view, and you're happy to live, but you don't have to. I just can't relate. My life is everything and I'm trying to make it great, but it's a losing game, cause I got the news today. It's funny how no matter how ahead you are, you're too late.
I change how I look, how I talk.
Kudos to writing a song and expressing this token. on the day that you found the news. I remember when my son Tobias was born. He was a micro preemie, and he was born at 26 and a half weeks. And he was born, and on the day that my son was born, he had breathing issues because he was so small, and so they put him on a breathing machine, and they have 5 in the NICU. They had 5 at this time when he was born, which was like 21 years ago, to almost 22 years ago. They had different breathing machines and different levels, and like from strong to like the weakest, and so they put him on the weakest one because his lungs were so fragile. But his lung collapsed anyways, because what happened is the air, they're doing short, fast ones because that's the easiest, like shallow breaths. But his lungs were so underdeveloped that it was blowing holes in his lungs, and the air was getting stuck between his rib cage and his lungs, and it caused it to collapse. And so we thought he was gonna die. Like, it was so bad, but he lived through that. He had so many problems early on. I mean, obviously the regular ones like jaundice, and we couldn't hold him for like the first 6 weeks. Well, that's not true. No one could hold him for 6 weeks. I could, and my partner could at the time, my spouse, and we used to do like kangaroo care, where you would go bare chest and bare skin, but we couldn't rub his skin because it was so thin that it would rub off, so we could only hold him. And then and I'm saying all this because there's a point about writing a song on the day you hear something. So what had happened with him is he was in the NICU for 79 days total, and then the first year was really rough, and then he's fine now. But I remember we went to the hospital, and he was like this big. Like, he was like 2 pounds, 12 ounces, I think. He was 15 and a half inches long, which was all legs, which is normal with us. But he was small. You could fit him in one hand, right? One hand. You could hold him right here. And we went to the hospital one day, and his stomach was black and swollen to the size of a basketball. He's this big, but his stomach's like this big. And we were freaking out. And so the doctors came in, and when they go in, they kicked us out. And so and we'd been spending so much time in the NICU, and we were staying at the Ronald McDonald House at the time, which is just down the street, wasn't very far. So we went back to the house because we're like, I can't sit in these walls anymore. I just can't. And so we get a call from the team about 2 hours later or something like that. And they're like, we have to do an emergency surgery or he's going to die. I'm like, okay, we'll do the surgery. You have to come back and sign consent. And so we signed consent, and then they waited and waited and waited to do surgery. I'm like, are they doing surgery? And like, oh no, they're still prepping. I'm like, if he's going to die, do the surgery. Like, we're freaking out. So they finally pull him in for surgery. As he's in surgery, I write a poem to him. Now, I'm sorry, this isn't necessarily have to do with the song, but it has to do with writing and creative. And I remember, we named our son Tobias because the name Tobias means God is good, and I wanted to remember that God is good even in the midst of these very difficult circumstances. And so I wrote a poem called God is Good, and I think I can still remember it because it's etched in my mind. But the poem is, God is good, Tobias, because that's what his name means. He really is, you see. He's blessed my life with you, my child. You're here, alive, breathing. I know it's hard, my child, with every breath you take. But son, I really love you. I'm here no matter what it takes. My heart, it aches with sorrow for all you have gone through. You've had such a rough start, Tobias, and it's getting harder too. I don't know what tomorrow holds. Will you be there with me? I long to hold you in my arms. Please give all your pain to me. My God's a God of comfort. He'll hold you in his arms, for I am weak with pain and grief, and he's held me this far. I pray that you won't pass away, but Toby, if you do, I trust that you will see my God, and he will hold you too. And I get writing in like these difficult times, and obviously he made it through the surgery. He had a lot of struggle, but he finally made it through, and I get writing it. So I'm glad you wrote this token. I'm not glad that you didn't warn me that it's a tearjerker, but I'm glad that that you're able to write this and share this vulnerable part of your life that kind of formed you. So thank you for that. That's really cool. All right, let's kick this back.
And I'm trying to make it great, but it's a losing game, cause I got the news today. It's funny how no matter how ahead you are, you're too late.
I change how I look, how I talk, how I act. I change even more, I'm no longer yours. Only thing that don't change about me is wishing I changed even more. What am I waiting for?
On our phone call, you tensed up when you mentioned death. It still bothered me, cause I want you to be content. It was the middle of the night, I guess that's what most happened. Did you find contentment or not even know what happened? The questions I don't have any answers to upset me.
Right.
Until I realize they're not meant to be. Maybe that's what's beautiful about the rollout. Grandma Tuesday, I'ma be crying my soul out. My birthday's coming up, and even if you lived past it, I still change the subject every time you hinted at it. Cause I'm not even supposed to know till I'm supposed to know. And until I'm supposed to know, I'll be hoping I don't.
Oh, that brings up a really good point. Like, you're not supposed to know when somebody dies until they know. So he definitely knew way ahead of time that she was dying, obviously with all the conversations, and it was uncomfortable for him, very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for everybody. Yeah.
Supposed to know till I'm supposed to know, and until I'm supposed to know, I'll be hoping I don't.
Right.
I'll be hoping I don't. I wish I did more for you, but I know it's a losing game. I got the news today. It's funny how no matter how ahead you are, you're too late.
Right.
Purpose is to say, I don't give a.
Oh, that's his grandmother.
Got the news today. It's funny how no matter how ahead you are, you're too late.
What is the purpose of this? Purpose is to say, I don't give a. If you say it one more time, I'm gonna slap you. I mean, your mother so the character is.
I change how I look.
Yes, I love that. That's so cool to have that. I remember my grandmother. I'm a teenager, and I used to love riling her up and getting her so upset. And I remember one time, and I'm pretty confident I was a virgin at the time, but she's like, but the people I was hanging around with and the crowd I was hanging around with, back in the day, they're called stoners, right? She's like, you're such a whore. You need to keep an M&M between your knees so you don't get pregnant. And I'm like, Grandma, I said, they can always do me doggy style with the M&M there. And she would get so upset, but we would, it was just our funny, twisted, dark humor back then. It just reminded me of that. Okay, let's go back. It's so cool that he has his grandmother on here. That's such a cool, way to pay homage to your mom or your grandma. That's so cool. That's so cool.
If you say it one more time, I'm gonna slap you. I mean, your mother so the character is.
I change how I look, how I talk, how I act. I change even more, I'm no longer yours. Only thing that don't change about me is wishing I changed even more.
Yeah.
I change how I look, how I talk, how I act. I change even more, I'm no longer yours. Only thing that don't change about me is wishing I changed even more. What are you waiting for?
I like that. Oh, is that his grandmother? I like that. What are you waiting for? Don't wait. Hug somebody that's close to you. Don't forget to say I love you. Like, you never know when the last day is gonna be and when the last chance is gonna be. Thank you for writing the song, Token. I know it had to be difficult to put yourself in that place of vulnerability and put it out there for the world. But I appreciate that, and I hope that at the end of the day it'll cause those of us who hear this song to go and just give an extra squeeze, an extra hug to somebody who's close to us. Thank you guys. I want to say this, that I absolutely love you guys. I know that God loves you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks. Bye.